Hello everyone!
Hello.
We're back doing another late night trek, and today we've picked out the Season 2 episode 10, The Dauphin.
Le Dauphin.
Now, if you would like to watch along, please queue up your Netflix or your DVD, perchance your VHS.
Or your Laserdisc.
Or even Laserdisc. If you have it on a pocket calculator, you can also watch it on that. And get your time step to 0, and at the sound of the now, please press play now. There we are.
There we are.
So, full disclosure, we did just watch Suspiria, so we're watching this as kind of a hug.
defrag. Yes, this is a nice warm hug.
Yeah. I like familiar, cozy, warm, comfy Enterprise.
Yes. Especially one of the episodes in which they clearly couldn't find the original footage to remaster.
Right.
So it looks very ISO-y. Which it has a certain charm.
It does. You've also got that problem where, okay, so there's two things going on. Between season 2 and 3, they must have changed the film stock because it noticeably looks different.
Oh, yeah.
Funnily enough, the space shots don't look that different.
No.
But the interior shots...
Didn't they just completely recreate the space shots?
They did, but they recomposited them, and they would have filmed them at a different facility than the actual on-set stuff was being filmed.
Okay.
So it was actually
I meant in the remaster.
Hmm.
I thought in the remaster they just completely recreated the space stuff.
They did, but they had the elements.
Oh, okay.
They didn't really... No, they had the elements there, meaning they have a shot of the ship going by, they have the planet, they have the stars, and they recomposited them, right?
Got it.
And by doing so, they could clean up things like matte lines and get rid of problems like that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But for the interior stuff, like on the bridge and within the ship, you're going to see a lot of different. You're going to see a lot of difference between season 2 and 3 and beyond.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
The other thing that's happening is that when they did the Blu-ray remaster, they took all of the original film negatives, rescanned them at a higher rate, a higher resolution, and then reassembled every episode exactly. Now, how this was done, I think they basically had them side by side and matched them millisecond for millisecond.
Okay.
But in some cases, there were some shots that couldn't be found. So, if you've got a reverse shot conversation between Picard and somebody else, then maybe Picard's angle they didn't have, so they've had to upscale it from whatever the highest quality Blu-ray scan was at the time.
Yes, and they don't have as much deep information on the shot to work with.
So maybe they also have they had to also color correct it. Mm-hmm. So it looks a bit. See, this shot looks fine.
Yeah.
Whereas some of the stuff on the bridge looked a bit
grainy.
Grainy. Anyway, so we have a sweet little love story here, which has its goofy elements, but it's sweet.
Yes,
I think
indeed.
it's a sweet episode.
It's a nice break.
Fun fact: this actress is a lawyer now.
Ah.
She did not carry on acting, but she's become a lawyer. I think she was a kid actor. I can't remember whether she knew who Will Wheaton was or what, but
pay for law school.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, she checked him out fully there.
Oh no, she's checking out his superconducting magnet.
She's checking out that superconducting magnet. I mean, we all know Will Wheaton has a superconducting magnet.
Oh, indeed.
It can rip the iron right out of your blood cells, apparently.
That,
Look at Riker's reaction.
I love Riker's smug-ass grin in that shot. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's playing silly buggers. He knows. Alright, so full disclosure, I do actually quite like this episode.
Oh, it's cute.
I will stick this on just because it's,
It's not Suspiria.
It's not Suspiria, which we also just watched.
Which, again, very good.
Yeah.
But holy crap, is it frightening.
We're talking the original 1977 Suspiria, Dario
Yes.
Argento, not the Luca Guadagnino one from 2018.
Yes, for, those interested.
Oh,
So yes.
The big space mummy.
The big space mummy. Who said that first?
It's Alex from Scotchbox.
Ah, okay, yes.
Big space mummy, I live inside.
Oh, he is that.
He's a delightful man.
Highly, highly recommend that YouTube channel.
Yes, so those who don't know what we're talking about, Scotchbox, if you just type in Scotchbox, it's spelt the way you think it's spelt. He's a gamer and YouTuber who does Twitch streams, but heavily focused on Star Trek and Star Trek games.
We did not create Space Mummy, he did.
No, that's a thing from his channel.
It's quite good.
It's rather good. It's rather good. I'm very curious how they did the moving starfields, because there is actually a.
Don't they usually do pinpricks in a sheet?
That's for shots where they have to pan,
Okay.
I think. But I think it's it's got something to do with multiple zooms in, and they overlay them so that it looks like they're moving past.
Yeah. Why don't the back of his pants zip up?
Yeah, that's got to be deliberate.
It's a mistake. It's a deliberate mistake.
Mm-hmm. So the fun thing with this episode is, of course, Wesley. It's a simple little story. It's just Wesley falls in love with a cute alien lady, and the main crew have to give him advice about what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that results in some great comedy moments.
And apparently Wesley Crusher has a fish tank.
Now this ticks the box of guests on the Enterprise intentionally hide their true nature from the crew.
Yes, indeed. Which you really think that the scanners or the
Troy.
transporters or Troy, someone would pick up on
Someone would
it?
notice something weird going on.
They do have a hell of a lot of technology on that ship.
Indeed. But apparently they don't think about locking their shuttles with a pin pad or anything.
Apparently not.
Why would you do that? Oh yeah, I like that. Okay, so the guardian of our love interest, the guardian, this surprisingly like one of the instructors from Suspiria. She kind of has that "Welcome, Susie Banyan," that kind of a voice. Celia, that's her name.
Mm-hmm.
The guardian of Celia. She has kind of a back and forth with Worf. That Worf really doesn't like her because she's so disagreeable.
Yep.
But later on, she like actually congratulates Worf, and she's like, "You're a worthy opponent." There's like a lovely.
Oh yeah,
there's a kind of a cute little moment there.
There's a little
And
appreciation for each other.
yeah, Worf feels respected,
Yes,
which he
indeed.
so rarely does on this ship.
He gets a little bit more time in DS9.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's the something's up phase.
Oh yeah.
This feels very much like an original series kind of a premise.
Mm-hmm.
That there's a pretty lady who's gonna take. She's been bred specially for one purpose, which is to take over.
To try and bring peace to the...
To bring peace to these warring worlds or whatever. Yeah.
In which half of the planet is always daytime and half of the planet is always nighttime, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Suggests that it's, I guess, not geostationary, but sol stationary. That it's not spinning with regards to its sun. So, the same part of it is always in darkness and light.
Yes, well, I think they said there's only one rotation per revolution. So that would... I think that makes sense.
Now, she randomly transforms... The Guardian randomly transforms into a sorority girl for some reason here.
I always kind of gathered that she was...
Ashley Judd.
I kind of gathered that while they were on the planet, she transformed into multiple different forms to, serve different roles for her and to help her learn how to interact with if she was trying to train her to be a diplomat, she'd have to teach her how to interact with peers and people older than her and, you know, political figures and things. And maybe she's always kind of shifting to teach her how to interact with different people.
Now, is this our first shapeshifter in Star Trek? Because is this a sort of dry run for an Odo-like
Salt
character?
vampires.
Oh, no, yeah, of course, you're right. Right at the beginning. How did I not think of that? Yeah, well, obviously. She's obviously paid for the extra distress genes there.
Yes,
from,
indeed.
Where can you get those?
Urban Outfitters,
There
probably.
you go, Urban Outfitters.
Oh, it's so cute. It's like a little twisted teddy bear.
You got to imagine if you're an actor on this show going, what am I doing?
Yep.
What is this
Yep.
that I'm making?
Oh, so...
I think it makes little kind of chirping. It kind of it's kind of doing
the
funny
little
noises.
bug-eyed
Yeah.
teddy bear. Which, I mean, that must scar Wesley in some way. Just to realize...
His first crush is actually...
He didn't seem to know it seemed to mind, but I just feel like a week later be like, I am in love with a bug-eyed teddy bear.
Although, if you go with the lower decks sort of normalization of all the weirdness in Star Trek, that would be something you'd be so used to happening. You'd hear stories about your friends falling in love with, oh, he fell in love with a shape-shifting alien. Oh, that. Oh,
yeah, I feel been there, done that.
Like that. By that point, there must be romance novels about that. So there's some way to culturally sort of understand the problem. Now, I don't usually like single episode romances. Single episode romances. Your man Rowan Coleman on YouTube regularly rates single episode romances among the worst episodes of any science fiction show.
I feel like it's different though when it's young characters, because then you can play it as just, a little crush.
Yeah.
It plays differently.
And it's a sort of first love thing.
Yes.
And that, that's a lovely thing.
It's supposed to be short and sweet.
Of course. Yeah.
As opposed to, when Geordi gets a girlfriend and that doesn't end up working out.
You mean he invents a holodeck program?
Or the 4 times that Troy's lovers get killed or something like that.
Or Stargate SG-1, all Sam's lovers must die.
Yes. Well, that's just it. You can't really invest in those romances because you know they're going to... they're going to die.
This is my favourite bit. I love this part. This is a great bit of comedic acting from Michael Dorn here.
The women roller. And they hurl heavy objects. Oh god, get a room, Mark. Yeah, you're on duty.
That's a great line.
Should I start?
He ducks a lot.
Should I start throwing heavy objects?
Oh god, you probably will, yeah.
Yay!
Now it's the winter of my discontent.
Perfect.
I wanted lonely. That's a cloud.
You see, this is why I love you.
I love that. Picard just walks out out. I'm going to say elevator. Completely does not register that Wesley is even there.
Oh no!
Just completely blanks him. Oh my god!
Look
Yeah.
at it! Look at it go!
Now they've done a nice thing there. I think they digitally added her reflection in there.
Oh
On
yeah.
the screen. I don't think that was there before.
A nice touch.
That's the kind of thing that.
Sorry.
Jesus Christ.
I can't.
It turns out it's actually Warwick Davis. It's it's the actors who played the Ewoks.
It probably. The thing is, it probably is.
It'll be a little person running around in a suit.
I always have such mixed feelings because that cannot feel good to always be cast as the small furry thing.
Right.
That's. But here we are. This is what they did at the time.
Yeah, this is where we are.
that hat thing.
Yeah, like, is that meant to make her look more alien? I don't quite understand. She just kind of looks a bit like some sort of fish creature. You know? Got the ridges, got the fins on her head.
See, why did you go to Riker first?
Yeah. Now this is a wonderful scene.
Oh yeah, let's just let this scene play.
We'll just let you guys enjoy this.
Enjoy. Guidance enjoying every damn minute.
Of course she is. Oh, Riker, you perv.
Beautiful perv. Keep going. Don't stop.
Oh, poor Wesley.
Oh. Wesley, you are watching a master class. Pay attention.
Yeah. I think he knows that he can't ever perform on this level, though.
Maybe.
That's great. I love that they just completely lost interest in his
His
whole problem.
Oh, I'd be like, Wesley, go.
Yeah.
Leave.
Even if it's just for a joke. Who cares? Yeah.
Oh, who cares? It
started off as a joke, and then it became very much.
And two of the most suave characters on the ship in a flirt off.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. I mean, that's why it's great.
So good. So good. Is she grumpy about the ship?
Well, she's got this kind of like ridiculously over-specific. Nothing is good enough for her. But this is a trope. This is a character trope that happens quite a few times in season 2. Actually, that there's like the outside presence who is just completely unreasonable, like your Zach Dawn guy from Samaritan, not Samaritan Snare, sorry, Peak Performance. You know, who's testing the Enterprise's battle readiness, and he's not satisfied with it. He keeps being really harsh to Commander Riker. And it turns out he's actually a coward, because he's like, acceptable tactical losses, we need to retreat.
Yes.
Screw everyone on the Hathaway.
Wow, his uniform is too tight.
Yeah, that's probably for somebody much smaller than him.
He cannot breathe. Catch on, dude.
You literally had one job.
Can you not see the drool in the corner of his mouth?
Pretty lady.
I do like her outfit, actually.
It is, again, this is civilian clothing that weirdly doesn't suck.
Yeah.
In Star Trek.
It's not common.
Normally.
Especially when it's an alien.
Mm-hmm. It's actually kind of elegant. Ooh.
Yes.
I think I'd like to try some Thalian chocolate mousse.
That sounds fantastic.
We never meet the Thalians in Star Trek. They're just one of the Ian.
Yeah. We just know that they make good chocolate mousse.
What's the most generic Star Trek alien name? Tarkalian. I think Tarkalian. I think one of the things I got very, very irritated with watching Deep Space Nine was all of the alien similes, just to kind of spice up make... It's like the laziest way to make your world feel like it's populated by many different species and many different cultures is to say, he had more ears than a Tekalian wildebeest. What does that mean? But they do it every episode or so. You know, Garrick or Odo or somebody will say an alien simile.
That kind of thing only works in Lower Decks when it's intentionally mocking that kind of thing.
No. It's just such a goofy thing to say otherwise.
Yeah. They definitely play up how overused that is in Lower Decks.
Oh, no, this is a really ridiculous scene. I love this.
Worf's face. Oh, here it goes. Here we go. Okay.
Now you've got Michael Dorn looking up at where he imagines the effect is going to be in that shot. Now it's a real guy, a dude in a big suit.
Oh god, we see that background actor quite a lot actually.
We do, yeah. There's quite a regular rotation of background actors.
It's hard not to notice him. He's so buff.
He turns up a lot. Oh! Now, in the comments to this, there was a clip of this on YouTube. One of the comments said, "I like how Worf waits for her to turn back into an old lady before going to hit her."
So honorable. Then why do you need us to be your taxi?
Also, she chose a very weird moment to play her hand there. To reveal that she's actually a shape-shifting alien. Like, there could have been a much more effective reveal of that.
Yes.
It just felt like, well, it's been a certain number of minutes into the episode. I guess we have to...
I mean, in another show, that guy on the sickbed would just... He'd walk in and he'd be murdered.
Yeah.
And then you have to figure out what...
What?
Yeah, shapeshifters. Guys, you have books on the salt vampires.
True. I suppose they haven't met an Odo yet.
No, they would not have.
And also, you know, this isn't the MCU where everything is actually fairly well, tightly controlled. And it's all been produced within the same 10-year span. So, like, people have been checking things against other things to make sure it all works. In the case of Star Trek, it's like it's all developed slowly over 50 years.
Yeah.
So it contradicts itself. It contradicts itself like 100 times over.
I get it.
It's fun to point out those things. I'm not saying you shouldn't have fun pointing out errors and little inconsistencies and stuff.
Yes.
But
oh no, I don't.
It's a result of how it was made.
It doesn't detract from the episode.
Sure.
For me.
Yeah. Now that looks like something they've gone back in and redone as a CG backdrop, right?
Definitely. Oh, those actors staring at that green screen.
That's the thing that's quite sweet about this, is that the holodeck would be a great place to take someone.
It would be. I mean, we do see quite a few people take dates on the holodeck. Worf and Jadzia definitely do.
Oh, yeah.
Several times. To Severn.
Worf goes and fights Skeletor on the holodeck.
Yes. Well, I meant his
season
dates.
2. That's a date.
With Skeletor?
He takes Riker along.
Oh, so
there's an episode where he takes Riker along and they go and swing around on some scaffolding and kick Skeletor in the face.
Alright. I stand corrected. That is quite the date. I mean, I like mini golf. Some people like playing Skeletor.
Okay.
Perfect.
Ooh, Wesley's being all deep. It's like this place has a voice. It's trying to speak to us. But it's also, it's well-meaning because she's never going to see all of this.
Yeah.
She's never going to get to explore the world.
Her life is going to be all downhill from here.
Yeah. I mean, if you met Will Wheaton, I think everything would just be, diminished returns after that.
Well, yes.
Will Wheaton is pretty glorious. He's a glorious man.
I mean, I say that about Riker, but...
Oh, Will Wheaton's a good dude. He's definitely become somebody that it's a bit like Keanu Reeves. The internet's fallen in love with him because he's really sweet with his kids, and he's
the nerd spokesperson.
He's
the representative for us.
He started doing all his board game stuff, which lots of our friends watch.
Yes,
with tabletop gaming.
Indeed. There's just a couple of people who have kind of become the nerd spokesperson.
Well, there's the famous Wheaton's Law, right?
Which one is that?
Don't be a dick.
Oh, yes, indeed.
And my Wheaton's Law, which is, where there's a Will Wheaton, there's a way. Wheaton. Of saying my brother and I came up with in Boston in 2017 when we were watching our way through all of these episodes. I think Ed had not seen these up to that point. So I think he'd seen bits and pieces, but he hadn't actually watched it through.
I love it.
So we were staying in a youth hostel in Boston, watching this episode.
Perfect.
Eating Oreos.
Perfect.
We came up with where there's a Will Wheaton, there's a way.
Wheaton. Wheaton. You have to emphasize the H. Wheaton. See, this is Troy being kind of useful.
Right. She's sort of there to, earlier on, she's there to help them figure out the more nebulous dynamics of the situation.
Because Picard, to be fair, it does fit in Picard's character. He would be clueless about that kind of thing.
Yeah.
He's not so much with the people and the words.
And the idea is she's got some kind of insight that nobody else would. Even though it ends up sounding very obvious.
Yes.
To those of us who've,
I suppose I'll go
got
with
common sense.
Well, I suppose I'll go with the theory that, while it sounds obvious to people with common sense and knowledge of the human condition, Picard does seem to be lacking a little bit in the latter of the two. So maybe he just really needs her help to interpret basic human emotion.
Well, I guess he's a career officer. He's spent his whole life in Starfleet. He hasn't really had a real life,
Well, there are trade-offs. Oh, it's so sad because she knows her life is just going to be toil. At least, at least for the next couple of decades.
And also, this is kind of a sick situation that this person is essentially, their fate has already been decided for them before they were born.
It's a very star-crossed lovers episode.
Sure, yeah.
Well, and there's clearly no way it was ever going to work.
Right. It's been set up that way. So.
Yes, indeed. Wesley, what are you doing? Wesley, you can't just suggest her that she stays on the Enterprise.
Right.
Yes. Oh, Guinan.
Always there with the homespun.
Always there with
smart
the best
wisdom,
advice.
Right? Yeah. She's wise.
No. Follow Guinan's advice. She wants you to follow. That said, that could be really bad advice in other situations, but Guinan knows.
She knows what kind of situation it is. It's not something else.
Like when a woman throws a drink in Riker's face and then leaves.
She just, Guinan would have some other things to say to Riker then.
Riker gets up to follow and Guinan goes, no, not this time.
No. That's why you shouldn't say beep, 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 beep.
happening with our captions?
I have no idea, but Netflix is definitely a fantastic app that's really stable, and I'm
It always
100%
works.
happy with exactly how it works. The way it is.
Picard, don't be a dick.
Like Picard never went through it, as we find out later on.
Yes.
He had his, he had his affairs. He had his wilder youth, right?
I mean, I suppose you probably have to tell him off a little bit, because that's how you learn not to do those kind of things, but also...
Well, it's not time for the epic smackdown that happens later on with the First Duty.
Oh, yeah!
That's the famous Picard speech.
Oh, that's a great one.
Where Wesley's done a bad.
Oh, yes.
He's very much done a bad. With Tom Paris. I mean, Nick Locarno.
Yeah, it's Tom Paris.
Definitely Tom Paris.
There's...
Well, maybe he changed his name after he got out of penal colony.
Yes. I 100% accept that those are the same person. They just...
Because they did that with other... Like, they were always trying to get existing characters into their spin-off shows. Like,
yes.
Miles O'Brien ends up on Deep Space Nine. Major Kira was originally meant to be Ro Laren, but Michelle Forbes didn't want to do a TV series. Or, who else was going to be in Voyager? There's going to be somebody in Voyager from one of the other series, I forget now. But...
Yeah, I accept that it's the same person.
Or Stargate, actually. Stargate Atlantis, Rodney McKay is set up in SG-1. He's kind of this really unlikable twerp scientist who's just basically there as an antagonist for Sam Carter. And he's really misogynist and stuff to her. He's really horrible. But he sort of becomes more likable, and they have him on Stargate Atlantis. And he's actually one of the best characters on Stargate Atlantis.
Okay. We have to get to Stargate Atlantis.
We will, eventually. There's a lot of sci-fi to get through.
So much sci-fi. An endless amount of sci-fi. Which is a good problem.
It's a good problem to have.
It is a good problem to have. I mean, can you think of how terrible it would be to run out of sci-fi?
Well, I mean, I've sort of run out of Star Trek.
Well, this is why we have all their sci-fi.
This is why I can just rewatch this stuff over and over and over again and pretend nothing else was ever made.
Her dress is made out of the couch cushions.
It does look really weirdly like our couch, yeah.
No, not hers. Wait until they... Okay, bad angle. Her dress is the exact same color as the couch she's sitting on.
Oh, I see. Sorry, I thought you meant her.
It does.
Our couch looks weirdly like
the slightly metallic
the
silver.
old woman's. It does look weirdly like that, yeah.
It looks better on our couch than it does on her. Oh, we don't get to see that she matches her couch.
Yeah. Oh well. Random helmsman of the week.
Yep. I would have loved to be a random helmsman of the week.
Indeed, there were a lot of them.
That would have been great.
The chances of you getting randomly killed as a demonstration of some alien creature's power fairly high.
Randomly rocked.
Right. Oh, come on, and don't do it right now, right when we've got to the end. Sorry, our Netflix is starting to freeze frame a bit, and we're getting... My patience with Netflix is beginning to wane.
Wafer thin.
Wafer thin.
Wafer. We have reached...
Magnify.
That looks cozy.
Yeah.
Looks a bit like Arrakis.
Well,
human life.
Human life, that's assuming a lot, isn't it?
He's playing Battleship.
Now, is that two-dimensional? Or yeah, I guess that is a sort of battleship.
It's just space battleship.
Now, does he get up and go to the other side and play the other pieces and come back? I've given her the slip.
Naughty.
Not yet.
And I never will because I'm the golden child. Until I do, because I kind of get someone killed.
There's a moment... He's kind of the Harry Kim.
Yeah.
Because there's a moment where Harry Kim is kind of the really straight edge lad.
Yes.
Until he falls in love and then he goes way off the deep end.
Yes.
And Janeway kind of allows it because it's like, well, you clearly do not have very much life experience, so you wouldn't know how to handle this.
That is properly frightening. That is actually really frightening.
It's a Tusken Raider.
He's like...
from Star Wars. Well, that's going to kill his interest, I think.
Yeah, he's going to need a moment.
He's not going to be able to have, romantic dreams about her. 'Cause he's going to go, oh, the fangs, the fangs!
So much fur.
But now you've seen what I really am. Is there something going on here with them showing her... Part of allowing someone to love you is showing your true nature?
Oh, well, almost certainly.
Is that what they're trying to say?
Oh, almost certainly.
It's not very well fleshed out or kind of really... it's not well stated. But I think that's what they're trying to go for.
Oh, yeah. I don't think they're going for Wesley's first crush gets crushed because it turns out she's actually a giant orangutan. I don't really think that's the moral they're going for here.
If your girlfriend is an orangutan, the moral of the story is if your girlfriend's an orangutan.
Don't date an orangutan.
Yeah. If you find out you're dating an orangutan, you need to accept her for who she is.
Oh, boy.
That's fun. I don't remember there being red lights around the doors.
Yeah, that's nice.
When they had the force fields on.
We have arrived. You didn't tell her in 14 years that you wouldn't be joining her? Yes, well, mission accomplished.
Yeah, we're right.
Aw, I mean, they do actually kind of have an oddly sweet relationship.
Right. You just get... Okay, I guess what they're saying is that this culture, wherever they're from, has put all their eggs in this basket.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we've tried peace treaty after peace treaty. We've tried economic sanctions. The only way to solve this is pretty princess, I guess. We'll try that.
Well, she's I guess the first offspring of both sides of the war. Which I'm not exactly sure how that makes her more qualified to end it, but...
So she's just too important for them to get distracted by anything.
Yes.
Even love.
Love. I still don't quite understand why she can't join. I mean, I get the whole you're going off on your own now, you've grown up thing, but surely that doesn't mean that she can't go with.
I think it's a Gandalf to your Frodo sort of situation. Gandalf has to let Frodo go so that he can find his own way.
Yes, I suppose.
No, they're going to have a fight. Have a little respect for each other. It's nice.
We are both large and slightly furry. I like that their species seems to have the day-to-day form and the fighting form.
Yeah.
Like bulging-eyed teddy bear and bulging-eyed grizzly.
I've had days like that.
So does she have a bulging-eyed little orangutan form?
Well, she has an Ashley Judd form, and it stands to reason. Maybe she has I don't know. Maybe she has a Bill Gates form when she needs to be a high school geography teacher or something.
Okay, he's a dick here.
Yeah. Yeah, so that revealing your true self to thing, you're failing that question, Wesley.
Yep. You're kind of being a dick.
I mean, by extension, it's just saying, you know...
No, you didn't.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oof.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear, you're making so many bad decisions.
Oh, so many.
Wesley, it could be such beautiful interspecies love. Just let it be what it is.
Oh, Wesley, you're being a dick.
Yeah, yeah. She's right. Listen to her.
Also, Wesley, you've met so many alien species.
Right.
Surely you figured out by now that that doesn't change the fact that they also have emotions?
Yeah. Guess he's never just fallen in love with, you know... Orangutan before. It'd be a lot different if, you know, it was a pack-led. Red worm. Red worm.
Great. He's just grumpy that his crush isn't the pretty young thing he thought she was.
I'm sorry I was a total dick just then. I have a present.
Have some chocolate.
Well, maybe the species doesn't have anything like chocolate, you know.
I'm glad you stopped being a dick.
Mm-hmm. It'll be mega confusing. They'll think I'm a human.
Oh, here we go. Oh yeah, because she's not actually an orangutan.
Yeah, she's actually a Vorlon.
Yes, they're actually like a light beam.
It's a good thing she looks like that, and you know that's an attractive form. If she looked like the Thing, you know, just this tentacle monster, you know.
This is actually nice. You got a Riker nod.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually kind of better. This beautiful light being.
Yeah. A being of light.
So why do they just love turning into those bulgy teddy bears so much?
Just shenanigans, I guess. just to mess with people.
I like how she's like, I want you to remember me like this instead of as a beautiful corporeal light being.
Mm.
It's like, no, that's...
Remember me as an orangutan, please.
Oh my god.
This is the lovely little sort of button on the episode.
Yes.
Now,
and it's good advice too.
If I was lovesick, I'd want to talk to Guinan.
I would too.
Are you kidding?
Mm-hmm. And she gives him some great advice.
Oh,
here.
sure. Please, 900-year-old wise woman, tell me what to do. Give me the answer.
Give me the answer to all my problems.
Oh, this is just your mid-30s crisis. Don't worry, it all works out.
I like what she says here. This thing, there's just some like genuinely great moments of advice in Star Trek.
Well, I mean, you know, what a genius character Guinan is.
Oh, yeah.
They never exactly pinned down what she was doing on the Enterprise. I mean, she's clearly not the bartender. Like that's an excuse to have her on the ship.
Well, I think that's where where Guinan kind of wants to be.
Exactly.
She does like talking to people.
Like, she wants to travel around with Picard, but Picard's like, right, we'll make you the bartender, but really you have another job.
Yeah.
Which is basically to tell me what to do when I have to decide whether Data is a human or not.
Yeah. Between Guinan and Picard, there's some very good lines of advice.
Mm-hmm. Tell me what the Borg are, help me figure out time travel shenanigans.
I mean, I meant more so, life advice and sage wisdom, but
Sure. Also, helps when they know what the Borg is. Furry animal! Yeah, credit for furry animal there.
Excellent.
Well, there we have it. That was a lovely...
It's such a sweet little episode. Nice little one and done.
Yep. It's possibly the only good single episode romance, I think.
Yeah.
The only one that I can stand watching.
I can't think of another one offhand.
Even Crusher and the Being of Light. Crusher and the Trill. I think the first time a Trill shows up on Star Trek is a character that falls in love with Beverly Crusher. I almost never watch that episode because I can't get through it.
No, there is no good Beverly Crusher one romance episode.
That's the one we're not talking about.
No. You're not even supposed to say that we don't talk about it because that's inherently talking about it.
It doesn't even exist. We're not talking about it that much. Yeah.
So anyways.
So there we are. That was Season 2, Episode 10, The Dauphin.
Indeed.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Indeed.
If you like more of these, leave a comment or, whatever. You don't have to. I'm not your dad. Right. Until next time, everyone.
Nighty-night all.
Thanks for listening. Bye.